Hello, welcome to Appreciating Drama. Today, the topic of discussion is street theatre. So, from the term we can make out that this is a performance carried out on the streets. Street theatre is a form of theatrical performance and presentation in outdoor public places or spaces without a specific paying audience. That means here, unlike in indoors or stadiums or even theaters, where people pay the fees or ticket, here they don't do that. It is a free show. These spaces can be anywhere, including shopping centers, car parks, recreational reserves, college or university campus, and street corners. So it need not be restricted to streets all the time. Any public space it can be performed. They are especially seen in outdoor spaces where there are large numbers of people. The actors who perform street theatre range from buskers to organized theatre companies or groups that want to experiment with performance spaces or to promote their mainstream work. So you find different types of people performing on the streets. We have got buskers. Buskers are almost like beggars. They do some performance, maybe some animals like monkeys and all that, or some dance form or even music, singing for money, for collecting money. They are called buskers. And there are also organized people who are professionals who perform on the streets. It was a source of providing information to people when there were no source of providing information like TV, radio, etc. So, in the beginning, this street theatre started out as a means of communication when the social media of today was non-existent. Nowadays, street play is used to convey a message to the crowd watching it. So, definitely the people who are involved in the street play or street theatre, they have a message to convey. Street play is considered to be the rawest form of acting because one does not have a microphone or loudspeakers. So it is very crude form of acting because they have to use the natural sound without any stage, without loudspeakers and all other props. So it is very crude. That's what is called the rawest form of acting. Sometimes performers are commissioned, especially for street festivals, children's shows or parades. But more often, street theatre performers are unpaid or gather some income through the dropping of a coin in a hat by the audience. So, the income generated through this street play is very meager. They don't have much of income. But there are some who are ordered to do it. Maybe like they get a kind of commission or pay for that. So, they may be appointed by some people, maybe some politicians or or even social organizations. So, then definitely there is a possibility of generating income. The logistics of doing street theatre necessitate simple costumes and props, and often there is little or no amplification of sound, with actors depending on their natural vocal and physical ability. So, logistics mean here transport. So, they travel from one place to another. So, naturally they will have only minimum props and costumes and all that. And you can't expect them to have a sound system and all that. So, definitely they are dependent on their natural sound. This issue with sound has meant that physical theatre, including dance, mime and slapstick, is a very popular genre in an outdoor setting. So we have got physical theatre where the physical performance is more important, like mime and all that. So here we don't see much dialogue here. The dialogue has no importance. It is mostly action. Even slapstick comedies, they are also focusing mainly on action rather than dialogue. So for such kind of performance, this street theatre is best form. The performances need to be highly visible, loud and simple to follow in order to attract a crowd. So they are performing their act for ordinary people on the street. So the language has to be simple and it has to be very loud and clear. Only then it will reach the people. Street theatre should be distinguished from other more formal outdoor theatrical performances, such as performances in a park or garden where there is a discrete space set aside or roped off and a ticketed audience. So street theatre is different from other outdoor theatrical performance, like maybe a park or garden where it is exclusively for a restricted audience. That we cannot say it is a street theatre. Street theatre is arguably the oldest form of theatre in existence. Most mainstream entertainment mediums can be traced back to origins in street performing, including religious, passion or miracle plays and many other forms. So you find that street play was one of the oldest form. It originated long time back because it is a very primitive form of performance. It is not a refined one. And if you look at this passion or miracle plays, you find it was enacted on the street with a kind of procession and all that. When you studied miracle plays and all that, is very clear. More recently, performers who 100 years ago would have made their living working in variety theatres, music halls and in vaudeville now often perform professionally in the many well-known street performance areas throughout the world. So many who had been engaged in variety theatres, or music halls or even vaudeville. Vaudeville means actually a comic stage play. So now most of them are engaged in very famous street performances areas or street theatres. Notable performers that began their careers as street theatre performers include Robin Williams, David Bowie, Jewel and Harry Anderson. So these are some of the famous street performers. Street theatre allows people who might not have ever been to or been able to afford to go to traditional theatre. That means sometimes the traditional theatre can be very expensive, whereas street theatre is affordable, you don't have to pay, so anybody can watch this. It is open to all. The audience is made up of anyone and everyone who wants to watch, and for most performances is free entertainment. So here you don't have to pay anything, if at all it is very small amount. Now, reasons for staging work on the street. So why is that people take to streets? Performance artists with an interest in social activism may choose to stage their work on the street as a means of directly confronting or engaging the public. So when a group of people, or maybe an organization, want to send a message to the society or the public, then they can choose this street theatre as a medium. For example, multimedia artist Caesar Pink and his group of performers known as the Imperial Orgy staged a piece titled Our Daily Bread that brought performers onto the streets of the New York's financial district to ceremoniously lay loaves of Wonder Bread along the sidewalks, each with an advertisement from Satan offering to buy people's souls in exchange for material possessions. So, this famous artist called Caesar Pink, he had performed a kind of street theatre or street play titled Our Daily Bread. Here you find he was keeping bread packets on the roadsides where people walk by, pedestrian walks and all that. And there is an advertisement on that bread cover that Satan is offering to buy people's souls in exchange for material possessions. That means Satan will give you material possessions like money or gold and all that, provided you give your soul to Satan. So there is a kind of message that they are trying to give to the society, that if you run after worldly possessions, you will be losing your soul. That is the message. Some contemporary street theatre practitioners have extensively studied pre-existing street and popular theatre traditions such as Carnival, Commedia dell'arte, etc., and wish to present them in a situation close to their original context. So, some of the latest artists who are working in street theatre, they study the old ones, old street plays like Carnival or Commedia dell'arte, which was in Italy, so that they want to keep their style as close to the original as possible. Whatever the reason for choosing the street is a place with a different set of possibilities than the conventional theatre space. So definitely we cannot compare street theatre to the conventional or traditional theatre, which is definitely confined to a place with everything set like seats, stage, everything. Sue Guild of Welfare State International argues that a street theatre performance is not a lesser form than an indoor performance, nor is it simply taking what you do on stage and placing it outdoors, but a form with an energy and an integrity of its own. So, street theatre is entirely different from traditional theatre. We cannot take a play that is acted on stage to the street. It will not work. So, we have to plan a play which is suitable for that, where you don't need much of props or other lighting and sound and all that. So, where you focus mostly on your performance, your physical action. Many companies are politically motivated and use street theatre to combine performance with protest. So, some companies or organizations can make use of the street play to express their protest against the government or against certain policies. This has occurred through the guerrilla theatre of San Francisco Mime Troupe, the Living Theatre, the carnivalesque parades of Bread and Puppet Theatre, and the work of Ashish Malla and Sarvanam Theatre Group of Nepal. So, all these were let's say rather politically motivated to express their protest against maybe the government or the government's policies. A character-based street theatre which developed in the 1960s and 1970s was developed by groups like Lumiere and Son, John Bull Puncture Repair Kit, Exploded Eye and Natural Theatre Company. So, all these were based on character rather than the message. The performances were unannounced and featured characters who acted out a pre-arranged scenario looking beautiful or surreal or simply just involving passers-by in conversation. So here you find the character was more important. They were trying to present a particular character to the audience. They did not seek to trick in a candid camera way, but rather invited the audience to pretend along with them. So here they are trying to involve the audience in their action. No amount of planning or rehearsal could dictate what would happen. So it is very much kind of improvisation. That means they are doing it without preparation. Street theatre can involve juggling, stilt walking, magic, physical theatre, mime, mask work, circus skills, clowning, work with fire, slapstick comedy, busking, riding bicycles or unicycles, using simple costumes and props. So all these are different forms of street theatre. Juggling, I hope you know what it is. Stilt walking, again they stand on top of long poles and walk about. Magic, of course, you know. Physical theatre, again where the importance of action or their physical actions are more important than dialogue and all that. I think most of these are familiar to you. Clowning means, you know, just clowns walking around entertaining people. And work with fire, maybe like swallowing fire, even people who swallow swords and all that. All these are on the street we can find. Once I found something very shocking. I think it was in Andhra Pradesh. You find a person flogging himself and you could see blood and all that. So just for money they do all kind of things. Or riding bicycles or unicycles and all that. It normally involves little or no set and no amplification of sound. So street means there is no stage, definitely, and no props also. Even sound is not available. Some forms of early street theatre include ancient Roman comedy, medieval passion plays, the commedia dell'arte, the carnival or the nukkad natak. That is Indian street theatre. These are all some forms of early street theatre. Conceptual art and the happenings of the 1960s also had their influence on street performance groups such as Lumiere and Son, John Bull Puncture Repair Kit, Explored Eye, the Natural Theatre Company, and the Australian group The Men Who Knew Too Much. These groups included elements of character-based work, Dada, Japanese, Kyogen, and circus skills. So these are examples of some theatres and their names. One form of street theatre which developed in the 21st century is the flash mob. I think you are all very familiar with that. Some of you must have done that, being a part of that. Even colleges, schools and all that, they do that, flash mob. A flash mob is where a group of people suddenly assemble in a street or public place and perform a synchronized or unusual or seemingly pointless act in a short time. Often these events are organized via social media. With its origins in conceptual art and the political theatre of Augusta Ball, the first official flash mob was probably one staged in 2003 by Bill Wasik in Manhattan at Mackey's department store. So the earliest known flash mob was conducted in 2003 in America, Manhattan. Nowadays, street theatre can be seen in many forms throughout most cities in the world. Social media has also seen the proliferation of the sharing of street theatre forms and techniques. So nowadays you find street theatre throughout the world. In most of the cities we can see, and social media also has helped in spreading it. I think we have come to the end of that. Street theatre, can have a look at some of the pics. It looks like a kind of street theatre, some kind of organizations. So with that we have come to the end of street theatre. So until we come up with another topic, another theatre, it is goodbye. Thank you.